All right, let's talk about something a little intense, but really, really important. We're going to explore this fascinating question. When does love actually end? And we're going to dig into a powerful idea from a theologian named Dumitru Stăniloae that might just completely change how you look at your relationships.
So let me ask you, do you know the exact moment? I'm not talking about the month or the week of the breakup. I mean the precise second that a relationship truly dies. It's a heavy question, right? But the answer is actually incredibly specific. Now, you probably think it's that one, that huge fight, the one where things were said that you just can't take back. But, according to this theory, nope, that's not it. That's just a symptom of something that's already happened.
Okay, so what about the silence? The moment when saying I love you starts to feel empty, or maybe you just stop saying it altogether. Well, that's not the moment of death either. That's more like the echo after the fact.
Here it is. The relationship ends the very second you stop experiencing the person in front of you and you start keeping a list, an inventory of their good qualities, and of course, all their flaws.
Okay, so let's really dive into this idea, the inventory of attributes. Dumitru Stăniloae pinpointed this as the critical turning point. It's that moment your partner stops being this person you share a life with, and they become an object to be analyzed, like a collection of data points on a checklist. And you can just see the shift so clearly right here. On one side, you've got the real stuff of a relationship, right? The shared history, the inside jokes, that feeling of home. It's all about a who. But then, look at the other side. That person gets completely flattened into a what. Just a simple list of pros and cons, ready for judgment.
So why is making this inventory so destructive? To really get it, we need to touch on this really cool concept, the idea that a person, and love itself, is what's called apophatic. Now, apophatic sounds like a big, complicated word, but the idea is pretty simple. It basically means you can only truly know something by what it is not. A person is just so complex, so deep, so full of mystery that you can never ever fully capture them with a list of qualities. You can't define them. You can only relate to them. And Stăniloae himself just put it perfectly with this quote. He's saying that when you're in love, you're connecting with that person in a space that's way beyond simple definitions. The moment that connection snaps, all you've got left are the attributes, the pieces, and your brain just instinctively starts to judge and sort them. And this brings us right to the heart of the matter. It's this fundamental difference between loving a subject and analyzing an object. And honestly, it's distinction that changes absolutely everything.
There's actually this beautiful philosophical word for this essence, quiddity. It's that one-of-a-kind, irreducible, unnameable who-ness of a person. It's the part of them that a checklist can never ever get close to capturing. It's like the melody of a song, not just the individual notes. Just think about that for a second. You can't be in a relationship with a resume, right? You can't build a life with a pros and cons list. It's impossible.
So the whole point is this. Real, authentic love is aimed at that core, that undefinable essence of a person. You love the whole person in their irreducible mystery, not just the sum of their good and bad parts.
Okay, but this isn't just some grim diagnosis. If keeping that inventory is the poison, then the good news is there is a clear and powerful antidote, and it's a conscious choice that any of us can make.
So the antidote really comes down to these 3 shifts in your mindset. First, experience, don't evaluate. Just bring your focus back to simply being with them. Second, embrace their mystery. You got to accept that you're never going to fully figure them out, and that's not a problem. It's actually a source of wonder. And finally, always love the who, not the what. Every single day, make the choice to love the whole person, not just the list of attributes you happen to be noticing.
Because ultimately, that's what this all boils down to. Love is an active choice. It's the decision to see your partner not as some finished object to be filed away and categorized, but as this inexhaustible, ever-changing person that you get to share a life with.
So, the next time you look at the person you love, especially in a moment of frustration, ask yourself this. Am I looking at a person, or am I just updating my list? Who are you going to choose to see?